I accidentally stopped recording there for a moment. My phone said size limit reached, which is odd given that that was only a 5-minute video, but perhaps my SD card is running out of space. Okay. Well, I actually discovered that my SD card had filled up. I only have a 16 gig SD card in my phone, and of course, someone who likes to tinker like me has that completely filled up. While I was copying all that stuff to my computer to fill up clean up some space in the SD card, I discovered that this little clip that I wasn't sure what was earlier that I discovered now was a cable lock. Actually, if you look at the kind of way it's set up, it looks like the hole it goes into is a little bit full because there's a little thing on there that kind of slides in. And I checked the directions while things were copying. You actually have to do it while it's open. You're supposed to just put this thing in there and I guess... Oh shit, yeah, there. Okay, yeah. And then it has like a little hole for the thumb screw to go in. Is one of these longer? I did not pay attention to that earlier, I will admit. Maybe this one's a little longer, actually. It may just be imagining things. In any case, we'll use it just in case it is, but I don't actually think it is any longer. That thumb screw back in place. And the purpose of this cable lock, I'm assuming at least, it's a very small slot, but I'm assuming it's to keep cords out of the fan, or just keep them from taking up too much space if you have to put this like near a wall or something. The top right one is giving me trouble screwing this back in. I've got the other 3 screwed on. Let's try see if I switch hands with it. Maybe that'll do it. I am right-handed. Okay. Let's try this. Kind of force it in. See, yeah. Sometimes you just kind of gotta force the first couple of threads in, and the rest of them will fall in place. Just like the original hard drive screws. You don't want to actually force it if it feels like it's stopping, but if it just feels tighter, then sometimes you can force it. Alright, so let's turn this flash off here and see what's next. Try to close the back cover with the 4 screws. Did that. Next step, turn on server and connect the RJ45 cable to the server and the other end of your switch hub. Router. Mine is connected to the, like I said, the Linksys E4200 router. I plan on getting a Netgear GS108, possibly T, switch soon, as 4 Ethernet plugs in a router is not good enough for me. But, because let's be honest, I have a bunch of crap to plug in. But, we'll see. So it says to plug the power in first, even though my natural instinct would be the Ethernet, but we will follow what looks like a pretty just standard plug. Kind of slide it in there. I guess it has a power button, which we're not pressing until the Ethernet is plugged in. The one that it came with, it looks like it's a 24 AWG. Doesn't seem to specify whether it's Cat 6 or Cat 5e, at least not that I can see yet. Oh, there it is, Cat 5e. Okay, I will probably end up using a Cat 6 cable in the end, but for now I'll just use the one that came with it. Since I'm just getting it set up, I'll have to, I showed you all this stuff earlier, I will have to rearrange it. I'll, of course, remove those hard drives. I don't think this thing will fit right there. I'll probably move the Wii down or the cable box down there and put it up there, but that's for another time. So all that stuff is connected. Remove the plastic wrap. Already did that. Press the power button. Moment of truth. If this thing explodes, this video is a record. Blinking. 4 hard drive lights came on. LAN light turning on and blinking occasionally. Now just the power. LAN's back on. Turn that off so you can see it better. I kind of like the blue light trend that's been happening in electronics recently. I'm scrolling down to the next page on here. It just says install the software, which we did earlier, so I'll just go ahead and scroll down. Not on Mac. This one is Windows. doesn't even actually tell you how to do it. On Linux, though, I guess if you run Linux, you probably know how. Okay. It does say if you choose it, one-click setup, the admin password will be blank. And it beeped. I hope that's not bad. That's the end of this guide. The last thing it's had was how to install it, which we don't really need to go through, I'm sure, since we already installed it. Flipping back to this thing, it says, no Synology server found, please make sure, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let's try again. Search. Search box there. Program wants internet access. Yes, thank you, McAfee, for protecting me against my own files. Oh, lovely, it stopped working. Whatever. I think we're going to go ahead and exit that and get rid of the DVD drive just to decomplicate things. Because it keeps trying to boot up, it sounds. This thing's still doing the same thing, one blinking status light. Okay, save that for another time if I need it. Let's start up Synology Assistant. Ah, it found one. Status not installed. And now what do I do? Okay, there's an install button here. Search, install, map drive, add printer, setup, WOL, I'm not sure what that is. Some settings here. Resource monitor, blah, blah, blah. That's probably more something to look into. After I've got it set up, let's click on this and click install. Your disk station has not found a DSM. We want to do a complete setup. I guess I need to go download a DSM from Synology. DSM 3.1. Where do I download this? If I just click on that. How do I download DSM? This is not really, am I just not seeing it? Resources. Installation. Status. It's a wiki. How did I purchase it? Disk station diskless. Quick install setup. System software. Download center. Apparently it comes in the CD as well that I of course just took out, but I needed to upgrade it anyway because I think it comes with 2.3 and they're up to 3.1 and some change. DSM, Americas. Yeah, and they have the Assistant here as well. We'll download that. It's 158 megabytes. Okay, well, I'm going to, I guess, wait and install this in a few minutes, and I guess come back to the video then. Okay, the incredibly long-ass download has finished. I had actually even started the wrong one, though I caught it just a couple minutes into it and changed it to the correct download. The file was about 157 megabytes, so it took a couple hours on my internet connection. Mine's normally not that slow, but it's been going slow today. I don't know if it was just the site I was downloading from or what. But anyway, so I have the installation file in here, and I did actually in the meantime also look at the disk that came with it, and there are the install files on the disk, but they are an older build of the operating system for the NAS, so I decided to just use the one I was downloading since it's the most up-to-date one. There's two options for the setup mode here, quick and complete setup. It doesn't tell you what they are, which would be useful. As someone who usually tries to be a power user, or, you know, if possible, even if I don't know what the hell I'm doing, like in this case, I'm going to click complete setup, because tend to like to set options as I want. Disk station, enter server name. Okay, so now you get to pick the name of it. Excuse me. I believe that this is going to be just like naming an external USB drive, and we'll see what we call it. I guess I will call it Media Server NAS. That will fit in with my naming scheme for all the media server stuff, so I've just got that name in there, Media Server NAS. And I put no spaces or anything in there, just to make it simple. Next. Administrator's password. Okay, obviously I'm going to put the camera down for a moment. Okay, I've got my password here. It says get network configuration automatically or use manual configuration. For now, I am going to leave it on automatic. I do have the ability to set static IPs on my network, but I will go back and change that later. I'll probably just set it to whatever it's automatically assigned, because I do it by MAC address really more than IP. Time zone, Central Time, it is 4:13. No, it is 4:14 now, and it is 0. Time is it? It says it is 12:33 on my system clock. I'm surprised there's not any sort of automatic setting, to be honest, but we'll just set it at 12:34 because I'm sure it's almost 12:34, and mark the seconds down to 0. Next, okay, please review, finish. You can go back and change, okay. So it's conserving, it's formatting, system partition, so it's doing some stuff now. It may take, and it says it may take over 10 minutes, so we'll see. And this is still, the other page is still in the background, hasn't really changed. It just says check progress and the IP on it in the Mac. So yeah, you can see it's got all the information what it's doing right here. Applying the network settings, formatting the drive, everything there. It says this could take over 10 minutes, and given that I've maxed out the thing, maxed out the hard drives that'll fit in there, I think I will pause the video for a moment and start it up when it finishes.